Mr. Brubaker.
Fuck a duck! It's the movie show with your hosts Elijah Brubaker and Robin Morrison.
Yes!
So, you interested in talking about Freddy versus Jason?
Let's talk about Freddy versus Jason. This was a bizarre movie.
Yeah, I was talking about this to a friend of mine earlier today, and it seems it's sort of critic-proof. It's a critic-proof movie in a way because
it's so dumb no one can take it seriously.
Yeah, it's everyone agrees that this is a ridiculous fucking shit fest.
Yeah,
but it is only for people that are really into this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's got a built-in audience already.
Yeah.
This movie is like pretty much like 99.9% fan service.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, I have to say I love it.
Yeah.
Despite that there are some moments where you're like, oh, Jesus, turn this off. But there are also other moments where I'm like, this is fucking great in a weird way that's hard to describe. I don't know why they just decided to start playing Slipknot or fucking whatever the hardcore metal is when they start fighting, but that was just the right thing to do.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I would say that this is a more solid entry into the Freddy Krueger mythology than the remake was.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think this is the last good Freddy movie.
This is also the only Friday the 13th movie with a plot.
Yeah, as far as Friday the 13th movies goes, there's a lot actually going on in this one. The previous ones are just Jason kills 15 people in myriad ways.
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all. I'm fine with the Friday the 13th movie, but it really is. Other than like the first two movies had sort of a hook to them, and then after that it's just all about body count and shooting people in the eye. So
yeah, you don't go into a Friday the 13th movie, especially anything after the first couple, expecting like some kind of great narrative.
Yeah,
like you're there to see Jason kill people and then get killed because that's fun.
Uh-huh.
That's what you get. The Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you kind of go in with the same thing, but you sort of expect there to be a bit more of a creativity thing and a weird plot twist and a sacred fucking knife or some shit.
Yeah,
some weird thing. But other than that, it's the same.
Yeah, the movie was directed by Ronnie Yu, who's a semi old school kung fu guy. So that's kind of weird that they decided on that. And it was written by Damian Shanton and Mark Swift, who the only other thing that's really notable that they wrote is the reboot of Friday the 13th, which was garbage. So it's kind of strange that this movie turned out okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went to junior high with those guys. I'm pretty sure because that's right about when everyone was talking about how there should be a Freddy versus Jason movie.
Right. Yeah.
And then they didn't make it for 20 years.
Well, yeah, I kind of chalk up the screenplay's not tight. The story is not like super amazing or anything, but it is a story, and that's surprising. So I chalk that up to probably the fact that it was being developed for so goddamn long, and everybody threw in their 2 cents, and they pick and chose what like the good parts were.
Yeah, because I picture them writing the first draft and just going, okay, so there's this girl in the woods, and then Freddy comes up, and he's like, ha, 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 ha. And then all of a sudden you look over, and there's Jason. Oh, shit. Pass me the bong.
Right.
That's what I picture happening.
Uh-huh.
It somehow got distilled into a story. And I kind of like the story. It's cheesy as fuck, but it's more than I expected. And so I was kind of thankful that they decided to go, well, let's just fucking add something in there.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's not high praise to say this, but I say about this movie the same thing I said about like Iron Man was... It's probably the best that you could do given the material you have to work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Iron Man was cool. It was a good movie for what it was, and I was not disappointed, I guess,
Yeah. Okay. And and sometimes that's the most you can ask for.
Right.
It did not disappoint me. It didn't suck my dick, but it didn't kick me in the balls either.
This movie didn't suck your dick?
No.
This movie totally sucked my dick.
A little. It kind of did. But then it stopped and was like, you finish yourself off. And I was like, God damn it.
I wasn't really too keen. Like, I was sort of like, I was hesitant about the beginning because of there's the Freddy Krueger close up, and he's talking about his backstory and all of that.
And the opening in the movie is so bad.
Yeah, and there's like he's wearing like bad like Halloween store like contacts, and it's like, you know, the makeup's fine and everything, but it's just he's like, and then they put me away for good and forgot about me, and you know, all of that kind of thing. And
he sounds so fucking petulant and whiny.
Uh-huh.
It's a monologue, and he's explaining the problem with him, and why there's going to be a movie. Basically,
it's that he's not famous anymore.
Yeah, he's just like, they stopped believing in me, and when they stopped believing me, I couldn't come back. And like, it's a rough movie at the beginning. It starts off really rough, but once it gets going, you find yourself going, "Oh, this is pure popcorn," but it's actually kind of fun.
Right? Yeah.
Like, you're good. It just starts off on a note that makes you go, "Oh no."
Yeah, the way it basically really just jumps right in. He tells you anything you need to know. You know, everyone was afraid of him. Flashbacks to movies that we haven't really covered yet, and then, you know, everyone forgot about him, so he's powerless. So he's going to find a way to get famous again.
Uh-huh.
And he decides to infiltrate Jason's dreams. So,
Jason Voorhees, who never truly dies, he just sleeps.
Right. And like they do a perfectly good job of encapsulating all of the things you want to see in a Friday the 13th movie. Also, there's big fake tits right in your face immediately.
Yep. Like, it's like, okay, you're about to watch Freddy versus Jason. There's the title card, huge knockers, and you're like, whoa, okay.
Right. I was
wow.
Just because of the climate of the world that we live in right now, talking about ladies' bodies is sort of icky, but and this is a small thing, but I was really disappointed that the two times in this movie that we get to see naked girl, it's like Hollywood naked girl. It's like big fake balloon tits.
Yeah, it was like out of a porn or something.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like, because the old Friday the 13th movies, kind of the deal, there was a more naturalistic beauty there, despite that it's being exploited for film.
Sure.
But at least it was, you know, realistic looking people.
Yeah.
And this time around, they were just like, no, we're going to get some people off of, watch the big porn site now. We'll get them, the big fake breasts, and she'll flash them, and then she'll say, we're going skinny dipping, and she'll jump in. And it's like, well, that's kind of hypersexual rather than just regular sexual.
Yeah, right.
If you're going to exploit women, at least do it for regular sexual, not hypersexual.
If you're going to exploit women, at least do it the way I want you to.
Yeah.
So we get a girl. She flashes her tits at the camera and then goes swimming, and then Jason chases her through the woods and skewers her through a tree with his machete.
Yeah.
And
it's a very violent skewer too.
Well, yeah, that's another thing, is that they successfully made Jason like a fucking club. He's like he's a club of a monster. And
yeah, it's the Friday the 13th movies too. Freddy's more of a kind of a dancer of violence.
Yeah.
And Friday the 13th, you know, Jason is a brute. He's just a fucking juggernaut, you know.
Right.
And they managed to capture both feelings pretty well in the movie. I don't think they dropped either of those.
Yeah, and I read a little bit about they got a new guy to play Jason, and this is like, he's like the biggest guy that they ever had to play Jason. He's like 6'5", I think it was, and and that was like totally the director's intention, was just to show how different their styles of menace were, you know.
Yeah, it seems like they captured it pretty well.
Yeah. So yeah, it turns out that it's this is Jason's dream, and his mother shows up and says, "Jason, you have to go to fucking Springwood, Ohio, to kill a bunch of kids for me because the kids there are bad." And and Jason silently nods and wanders off. And it turns out that the mom is Freddy, pretending to be his mom. So Jason we have a cut of Jason's, you know, desiccated remains coming back to life and regrowing itself and all of that. So, bam, movie starts. Fucking Freddy versus Jason, blood everywhere. We get Laurie and her cronies, which are seem to be stand-ins for Laurie from Halloween and her friends.
I could see that.
It's not an obvious homage to those characters, but if you look at it that way, you can tell that that's kind of what they were going for. I kind of wondered how many other references to horror movies were in this movie.
I was looking because somebody told me a while back that there's a reference to Ash. There's a brief little moment where it's referencing a Cenobite. I didn't see any of it. I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe it's in there and I just wasn't paying attention, but I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that stuff either. There's the obvious Kevin Smith character in this movie, and there are a couple of references to little things here and there that I'll bring up later, but they don't make it obvious. And I kind of feel that that's a good thing. Like, they could have easily thrown in stand-ins for, like, Hannibal Lecter. Once you make it an obvious thing like that, you sort of turn it into one of those scary movie type movies. So we get Laurie in her house, and it's typical setup for this type of movie. Laurie's the virginal girl, and her friends are a bunch of dumb sluts.
Yeah, if I remember right, like there's some guys over, and there's like a blind sort of a date thing set up where this guy's bringing a friend for her or whatever, and her girlfriend's making out with her boyfriend, and this guy, she doesn't like him. He's kind of a dweeb or whatever. I don't know what her deal is, but she doesn't like him. But there is this one moment where her friend goes, "Come on, what are you doing? You're 14." And when she said that, I just kind of went,
"Oh no. That's they're talking about her only other relationship." And that was when she was 14.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because, like, I swear I heard, "You're 14," and I'm looking at it going, that actress is 30.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That would be fucking ballsy to put a 14-year-old in a movie like this. That would be great.
That's what I thought was going on for the movie, and I'm like, no, we get her boobs at one point. What?
Right. They're talking, like, she's talking about the other relationship, and it turns out that it's the guy from the psych ward.
Right. When she was 14.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, there's like some dudes come over with beers, and there's the girl in the red hat, the PJ Souls character of this movie. They go upstairs to fuck, and then that leaves the other three people downstairs, and like one of the girls is saying, "Come on, I know you're virginal and everything, but you should take this dumbass up to your room and totally bang his brains out." And she's like, "No, I don't want to do that."
"I know you're a virgin, but you should do the opposite of that."
Yeah, right. I didn't write down what the actress's name was. The girl, like I did not realize that this was the black girl. I did not realize that she was like a singer.
Oh, I didn't know either.
Yeah, she was like in Destiny's Child, which I don't know if I have ever actually heard, but I know they were a big group.
Destiny's Child is a name I think I've probably heard dozens of times, but I don't have anything to connect it to.
Right.
There were quite a few bands like that in the 90s, especially where you're like, "Oh yeah, Tribe Called Quest were they were there were those groups talking about it all the time."
Right.
I figured out who Jurassic 5 is.
Well, she does a perfectly serviceable job of acting in this movie. But they set up that she's obsessed with her looks, and she's always thinking about getting a nose job. Later they mentioned that she's caked in makeup, things like that. I did not notice that she is any more made up clothes-horse type person than any of the other girls.
Yeah, they're all pretty much the same kind of like mannerisms, the same kind of dress. Her nose is quite nice.
Yeah.
They're all beautiful model-looking people, of course, Even the douchebag that comes up, and what is it? Is that the guy she's with? That fucking smarmy rich kid douchebag?
Well, they both sort of seem like that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, the one who gets special treatment in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes in. He's just like, "Come on, I don't care. I'm so tired. Women are sluts. Come on, slut. Like, we're going to bed now, but don't you fucking touch me. Don't even try to talk to me. Oh my god, slut." Like he's such a fucking little douche. You want to slap him around. It turns out you don't need to.
I know that it's a trope of these types of movies, and I know it's like a completely constructed idea, but I really dislike the idea of making a victim dislikable so the audience can feel okay about him dying.
Yeah, I think it would have been cooler if he was just an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Like, he came over and he's going to the college, he has great grades, really good job, future's bright, like Steven Seagal in Executive Decision, just fucking out there right at the beginning.
Right. So this dude and PJ Souls are fucking, and once they're done, she wants to cuddle, and he says, "Get away from me, you're gross," or whatever. And
I don't like to touch after.
Yeah, girls are
take a shower. You stink.
Yeah. So she goes and gets in the shower, and notably, this is another naked scene, but this is a stand-in, I guess, because the actress did not want to be naked in this movie.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. I mean, good for her for getting the job and then kind of like saying, "No, fuck you guys, I'm not doing that."
Yeah. The actress won't get naked. Make Freddy naked. It's
fine. Right. And then Jason shows up and just fucking does a number on this dude in a ridiculous fashion.
It's pretty hardcore. It's like watching like a professional like dishwasher breaking down a box real fast.
Right.
You're just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the guy's drinking a beer in bed. He reaches over to get his beer or something, and while his back is turned, Jason shows up and stabs him in the back a couple of times with a machete, and then takes the bed and folds it up with his body still in it, so his legs and the back of his head are touching.
Take that, rich privileged boy.
I know this is another minor quibble, but I kind of think that once, like, they should not have shown him getting like stabbed in the back and Jason doing his thing yet. I feel like it would have been a better reveal if she came out of the shower and just saw his body twisted up like that.
It's just like, what the fuck happened? This guy's kinky.
For some reason, I expected a change of scene here or something. I thought that things were going to jump ahead. My expectations of how this scene was going to play out were kind of, based on other horror movies I've seen or something. But no, all of the girls, everyone goes running out into the rain and freaking out.
Which seems a bit more realistic.
Sure, yeah.
Like, usually it's like, oh no, he's dead. I'd better run out the window and go into hiding. And then later on, there'll be moments where I get killed in jail or some shit.
Right.
I also think I might have just realized something that maybe is obvious to everyone else, but has never occurred to me. In all the Friday the 13th movies, he tends to kill like well-off kids, doesn't he?
Yeah, for the most part, people that would go to camp.
Yeah, well, and like kind of the prep dressed people too. I've noticed, like, you don't really see him like killing like people on food stamps and shit, do you?
Well, not necessarily food stamps, but you get like Kevin Bacon smoking a joint, things like that.
I'm wondering if like maybe that's part of the appeal of Friday the 13th. That maybe just subconsciously we never really like clicked on so much. Mm-hmm. Jason kills privilege.
Well, yeah. I mean, he also kills teenagers, and I hate them. So, I that's why I like it.
Yeah, well, actually, now that I think about it, Nightmare on Elm Street is kind of the same way. None of those kids are poor. If you see those houses,
yeah, sure.
Weird. These are all movies about slashers killing privileged kids.
It's attached to that whole like making the audience feel okay with murdering someone. Like if you add poverty on top of that might be a little too much.
Yeah, it's like if Jason's not killing the 1%, then he's killing you and your friends, and that's shit. You just bought a ticket to see this guy kill your stoner buddies.
So a cop shows up. There's the new cop in town, and he takes them all to the police station. And
if I remember right, this cop, it looks like somewhere in his history, his grandmother fucked a Busey and had a half Busey kid. And so he's part Busey. That's what I'm thinking. He looks like a Busey if he's the guy I'm thinking of.
There's a little bit of Busey to that guy, yeah.
Yeah, what is his name? Is his name, I can't think of his name right now.
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Busey.
Yeah, Busey the cop Busey.
Detective Busey.
The hardest lonely vagabond.
They're talking to Lori about something. It's like it's implied. Like one of the cops says, "I know who did this." Oh, and this is also in the Freddy Krueger house.
Right. Okay.
Once again, we bring it back to that Elm Street house for some reason, and all the cops are investigating, and someone points to the address and says, "I know who did this. It's Freddy Krueger." And all the other cops say, "Dude, shut up. Do not say that word." And so
he who must not be named.
Yeah, right. So back at the police station, Busey is talking to Lori. He says, "I only moved here like a couple of months ago. I don't really know what's going on. Maybe you could fill me in." And she says, "I don't know. One of the cops said a name. What was the name?" And she's trying to remember the name. And then she finally remembers, Freddy Krueger. Bam.
Yeah, like it was just on the tip of her mind tongue.
Her mind tongue. Then she has a dream.
Yeah, I'll say after, Nightmare 2, seeing Freddy operating in actual dreams is kind of nice again.
Yeah, I know.
Reminds you of his strong strengths, like what he's good at.
And like she walks through the police station, it's empty. It's ominous. She walks by a bunch of posters of missing children, and all of the missing children in the posters like turn their heads and look at her, and it's creepy, I guess.
It's Disney scary is what it is.
Sure. And she sees a little girl, and the little girl has her back turned. She says, what's going on? What's wrong? And the little girl turns around, her eyes are cut out. And I forget what the little girl says, but it doesn't really matter.
Well, this is what's weird, because it seems like foreshadowing, but then it doesn't turn into anything.
Right.
The little girl says something along the lines of, we're watching you. We know what's going on. He's coming for you. We'll help you. And it makes it seem like these are victims of Freddy that are going to help her. Uh-huh. But nothing happens with that. It's like that whole arc got dropped or something, but they kept the foreshadowing scene in, it feels like.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that's obviously why I totally forgot what she even says.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't matter. It's just a creepy image of a little girl with her eyes cut out.
That's the point. Yeah, it's just like, ooh, look at that, Freddy.
Right. Cut to Blake is his name. The other dude, the doofus.
Yeah,
the doofus that wanted to bang Lori in the beginning. Back at his house, and his dad is an asshole to him. Says,
his dad's a total asshole.
Yeah. Says, "What are you doing? You're a fucking lazy motherfucker." And Blake says, "Dude, my best friend just got killed. Leave me alone." And his dad walks off. Then
his dad's just like, "Well, if you want to sulk," and like goes inside and like cracks a beer. What a redneck,
Back in my day, best friends were getting killed left and right.
I had to walk to school 10 miles each way with fucking Michael Myers chasing me and fucking crazy shit you haven't even heard of. Fucking Mola Ram.
And then Blake either falls asleep. Well, he falls asleep. I don't know if we see it or not. But he, he wanders out into the middle of the street, and Freddy tries to get him with his big shadow.
It's a pretty good effect for being CG.
Sure, yeah. Yep. Also, for this movie is 11 years old.
Yeah, that really weirded me out when I looked at the dates as we were watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this came out recently. And then I put it on, and I'm like, fuck, wait a minute, I got to reevaluate what recent means.
Yeah, I know.
This is a decade old.
So Freddy takes a swipe at him, but he's not strong enough yet, and basically Freddy says those exact words to the camera.
Yeah. I'm not ready yet, audience. Just hang in there.
Right. And he says, in the meantime, Jason's gonna have some fun. And so some of that stuff's a little hard to take, just like telling you what's going on in the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying is what it is.
Yeah.
But if you're a stoner, like if it's a stoner movie, that's a good thing.
Right.
And if you're not a stoner, you just kind of go, yeah, just get to the Jason then.
Well, also, I mean, just from the construction of the story, the first half of this movie, or the first, chunk of this movie at least, is pretty light on Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger can't do anything, so all he can do is talk.
Yeah, he's just trying to get people's fear to build up so that he can get the power to come back and actually do some Freddy killing.
Right. and Jason, of course, does not speak. So we've got to that's just another good juxtaposition of how these characters are so different. Like, Freddy's the talky guy.
Freddy's the Bond villain of slashers.
Yeah.
and Jason is more like a big. He's this silent, murderous killer that's coming for you, which is part of his appeal, I think. If he started talking, it'd be stupid.
Yeah, I know.
He'd probably sound like Mike Tyson too.
No,
he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna cut like a pig, you little bitch."
No, he would cut a dude in half lengthwise. He would raise his machete up over the dude's head, just slam it down, top of the head, down to the crotch, cut the guy in half. It would pan up to his face, and he'd say, "That's gotta hurt."
Don't go to pieces on me.
Yeah. So Blake wakes back up. He says, "Oh, shit." And his dad is sitting there, obviously dead to anyone who has ever seen a horror movie. He says, "Dad, what are you doing?" And his dad's head literally pops off of his head, or off of his neck. And there's blood everywhere. And Blake freaks out, goes to run, and then there's Jason, chops him up, blood sprays on the window.
I like how the dad's head just kind of just kind of comes off.
Then we get to see the psych ward.
Yeah, this part of the movie is a little odd because I'm getting the idea that it relates to something in a previous Nightmare movie that maybe I have not seen. Why are these guys in a psych ward? I mean, well, the movie explains that they ended up there, but does it refer to some previous thing other than what's in this movie, or are these just brand new characters we've never met before?
Oh no, the characters are brand new.
Okay.
The Hypnosil is like a long-running Freddy Krueger thing.
Right.
And I think the name of the psych ward or something is a reference to something earlier in the Freddy Krueger mythology.
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, right. But there's the psych ward, and there's a bunch of kids getting their drug, Hypnosil.
Yeah, I think it's the psych ward from Nightmare 3, isn't it?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, the movie kind of, it seems like they're making these guys out like they have a history, and you're like, it felt like they were from a previous movie, but I'm like, no, I've seen all the movies. I don't know who these dudes are, especially not this blonde guy that looks like his name should be Augie.
Yeah, I was racking my brain to where I'd seen that blonde dude before. And have you ever seen Tideland?
Yes.
Yeah, the Terry Gilliam movie.
Yeah,
I really liked that movie, and
yeah, me too.
And he's the mentally challenged dude.
Okay, because when I saw him in this movie, I kept thinking mentally challenged. I was not in an insult to the guy, but I kept picturing him like kind of in a Gump-like way. I couldn't figure out what it was. He looks a little bit like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, minus 30 years.
Yeah, he's a little Gump-like.
He's Gumpy.
Oh shit! What are their names? There's Will. That's Laurie's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
and then
Affleck and Augie.
Affleck and Augie. There we go. So they're getting their drug, their calm you down drug. We get a little bit of backstory about what that's about, but it doesn't really matter. And while they're in the psych ward, there's a lot of sort of exposition, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's crazy talk.
Yeah, I guess Affleck had seen Laurie's dad kill her mom, and that's why he's in the psych ward.
Yeah, because he witnessed the murder, and Augie's in there because of why? Isn't he just... I think he actually did some shit, right? They make it seem that way, but we find out later probably not.
Yeah, well, I mean, ultimately everybody's in the psych ward to, keep the mythology of Freddy Krueger quiet.
In order to make Freddy powerless, like nobody can be talking to him or afraid of him. So the only people that know about him and who are afraid of him have been committed to a psych ward and told it's not real and given Hypnosil, which keeps them from dreaming. And it's worked. Freddy's gone. But then there's Jason, so I guess he's not.
Yeah. So Affleck sees on TV that there was a murder at Laurie's house. And so he says, oh, shit, I've got to go help Laurie. Why they would have a news broadcast about murders in a psych ward just available for mental patients to see is confusing to me, but who knows?
Yeah, it's an odd thing. It's like, we'll just let them watch the Manson murders over and over again. Right. It's educational. It's history.
Yeah, I don't live in a psych ward, so maybe they do act like that. They just let you see whatever. Who cares? They're locked up. They mastermind an escape. We get some ass. We get some chasing. We get an angry black orderly. All of the pieces are there.
Yeah.
But they escape, and they get to town. I don't fucking remember how the escape ends.
they don't actually show that. They go outside, and then we cut to some other shit. There's some conversations where we're telling our friends, I've been having this dream about this guy with claws. And then we get the high school scene where they show up, and I guess because we see it in a later scene, they managed to escape in a fucking pimped out rave van.
Yeah, the coolest van in the world. There is a section where Laurie's dad tries to slip her some drugs in her orange juice or something. So he's trying to give Laurie this orange juice, and she keeps kind of lazily pushing it away. She says, "No, I'm going to go to school." And he says, "You can't go to school. Everyone you know has just been decapitated." And she says, "No, I'm going to go because I want to hang out." And he says, "Well, at least finish your orange juice." And he's standing there holding some orange juice. And then the cops who have been hanging out outside, one of them wanders in. And I expected the cop to say, "Oh, orange juice. Can I have some of that?"
Yeah, give somebody a kill, Yeah. I don't know.
But it's implied that the dad is part of some cover-up. He's helping to keep the Freddy Krueger thing quiet,
and may have killed his wife.
That's right. Yeah. And again, this totally fulfills all of the necessary mythology for Freddy Krueger of parents acting inappropriately and being the cause of some sort of menace.
Yeah, it actually fits really well. It's a pretty clever construction.
Yeah.
I was a little worried at first because I'm like, wait a minute, okay, so if this guy killed his wife and covered it up and he's a piece of shit sleazebag, and we've got Freddy Krueger trying to mastermind shit, and Jason the wild card running around, man, that's too many. That's going to be like Spider-Man 3 all over again. That's too many fucking bad guys,
right.
And so I started kind of worrying about that, but it turns out to not. It works.
Yeah, it's a little clunky when they finally reveal that Freddy's the cause of everything, but
yeah.
A lot of this stuff is perfectly forgivable as far as I'm concerned. Laurie goes back to school, and everybody's hanging out before school, talking shit about whatever, and in
their 20s.
Yeah, and Destiny's Child says motherfucker a couple of times, and for some reason her characterization seemed kind of, she acts it well, but there's a part later when she's in the van, she's trying to get people's attention, and she keeps calling everybody y'all. She's the only one that says that, y'all.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I don't know her backstory or anything, but it was off-putting to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a stereotype character, and she acts really well.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a portion of it you're like, oh man, couldn't you guys just let her have her own personality instead of going, she's the black girl, she has to act like movie black girl?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, just let her. She could bring her own thing to this role. Why'd you hire her then?
Mm-hmm. And they, as they're walking the halls, we get introduced to a couple of new characters: the nerd and Jay from the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah, Snoochie Doochie.
Yeah, God, that is the biggest misstep in this movie of having
it
that character.
Me.
Yeah.
I don't like the weed smoking, beanie wearing, long haired guy whose head wags as he talks. I don't fucking like that. However, it allowed for a brilliant Freddy Krueger move later. But other than that, I did not like him.
And so the psychos meet up with Laurie in the hall. It starts out with fucking Flea, and he's telling the backstory of Freddy Krueger. This is the second or third time already in the movie that we've gotten what the story of Freddy Krueger is. I guess they just really want to ram it home that there's a dude who comes for you in your dreams, and he's going to kill you.
It really dates the idea of the movie, too. Like, you can tell this is an 80s horror movie that's being made now. Mm-hmm. Because, no one has a fucking cell phone in this movie, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, good point.
But, I mean, it's kind of odd, you know, and I get why. Cell phones have kind of ruined horror a little bit, you know, because now anyone can just call for help. But I think a clever movie could work that in. But you've got that, and then you've also got the idea that we've got this movie slasher, and it's like, oh no, you know, what have you heard? What have you heard? What's the rumor? What's the rumor? Whereas even in 2003, if this was going on, and you know these murders had happened 10 years prior or whatever, that's some 24-hour news cycle shit that would be going on there. Kids getting cut in half. And,
right.
I mean, even one person gets butchered and cut into pieces and is found on the ground. That shit goes out into the cycle. That shows up on HuffPo. That shows up everywhere. Uh-huh. You know, Fox News is sitting there going, some kid got killed. He was obviously a liberal. Like, you know, you're going to get all that shit. And so this movie doesn't have any of it. Like, there's nothing. It's still in that whole, like, hush, hush. It's a small town. People don't know anything. And it's like, oh, all right, but those days are numbered.
Fucking Jay and the nerd and everyone are hanging out in the hallways. They're passing out flyers for a big rave that's going to happen later. They don't call it a rave, I don't think, yet. They call it a party. And when the rave shows up, you say, what the fuck? It's a rave.
It's like a cornbury.
That seems like a purposeful reference to other movies where, like, you know, Elm Street 2 had this where, yeah, there's like scary shit going on, but we should, you know, safety in numbers. We should all have a party so we don't feel so weird, you know. Like the same thing happened in Scream. But the psychos show up. They tell her the backstory. Since she hasn't been sleeping and, you know, she's stressed out, she passes out, you know, like a girl. The principal's coming, so the two psychos have to run. And the principal is played by Bob Shea, Mr. New Line Cinema, who played the bartender in the leather bar.
Though I missed out on both of those because I didn't know who he was. That's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only reason I knew is I think I had heard that he was in Elm Street 2, and I had watched that documentary, so I knew what the guy looked like by then. But Laurie's in the nurse's office. She's sleeping. She's sedated or something. She's under. Her two friends are waiting in the waiting room. So Destiny's Child is like looking through a fucking plastic surgery magazine. And
which they just have.
Right. Know. And then Freddy Krueger comes out of the magazine and sticks his claws up her nose and pulls her nose off and says, got your nose.
Got your nose!
Yeah. And she wakes up and freaks out.
But her nose isn't actually damaged, so Freddy still hasn't gotten his power yet.
Right. He's so close, though. The two psychos, in the meantime, go to the library and figure out that everyone in town has purposely put a cover-up on the whole Freddy Krueger thing in order to suppress his power. It seems like a massive leap for them to make.
It's not only a massive leap, but they a library? Really?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't go to Google? Like,
right.
That's another thing that kind of dates the movie.
They are escaped psychos. They can't
true.
They can't get on the internet. And as they're discussing this, they have a whole lot to say about this whole situation. It feels like they're just filling time, honestly, because the audience already knows all this shit.
They pretty much give his backstory again, don't they?
Yeah.
Exposition.
Yeah, and while they're talking, they do that thing where the conversation keeps going, but there's a jump cut. It cuts to the sweetest van in the world, and they're sitting inside with black light going, fucking fantasy situation painted on the outside of the van.
Isn't it like a wolf baying at the moon and then a girl with her tits hanging out or something? Isn't that what's on the side of the van?
Yeah, I remember it as like a Conan sort of thing, but you know that might have been in there too. And then we get the cornfield rave. There's a fucking sweet rave going on in the middle of a cornfield. There's all of the cars are lined up in a circle, and all the kids are dancing like total. This is a 1995 rave going on in Ohio.
Yeah,
with glow sticks and everything.
It's man, this is so fucking weird. It looks like something out of that movie. What is it, Vibration or whatever that we saw with Denzel Washington? What was that movie?
Oh, that's Virtuosity. Yeah,
Virtuosity. Yeah, we watched it close to Vibe, and so I don't know, and Vibration, so they mix. It's like the bar scene in that. It's all kind of like this techno neon rave, right. But they're in a cornfield, so it's kind of hokey and weird.
Yeah, suddenly it's Strange Days.
Yeah,
and so let's see, Linderman, the nerd, shows up. He's like, oh gosh, there's a rave going on, and they fat jocks make the guy drink beer. We get Lori hanging out, just like grooving to the music on the hood of a car, totally by herself. And there's no way that girl would not be getting accosted by douchebags.
Yeah, no shit.
And
like instantly,
right.
You know.
And speaking of which, Linderman walks up to her and says, "Oh, hey, Lori, how's it going?" And then Destiny's Child shows up and kind of makes fun of him, and then there's fucking Linderman versus Destiny's Child, where he sucks himself up. He says, "Bitch, you don't talk to me that way. You're loaded up with makeup, not like your friend here." And she says, "Oh, I've been told," and walks off. All of these,
you got me.
Yeah, all of these, it's sort of like filler. Like, it's just stuff that you kind of expect. It's like teenagers behaving in weird ways toward one another to fill time in between the times when they get chopped to bits. And so PJ Souls is drunk and stumbling around out in the cornfield, and she sees her boyfriend, his decapitated head, is yelling at her. And I know this is like, I should almost just drop this whole like what's reality in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie and what's dream and all of that.
Yeah.
But is this like, does she actually see his decapitated body or decapitated head, or
I got the idea that I got the idea that at this point she's still asleep.
Yeah.
But then maybe she's gonna wake up, or I don't know.
Oh, right. They do show her just laying there in the field, I guess.
Yeah, like she passed out, and then what's his name? Neon fucking Billy Idol rapist.
Yeah,
comes scurrying over to her.
He's a rapist,
and he looks down at her and he's like, "Oh man, this chick's asleep on the ground," and he immediately crawls on top of her and he's like, "We're gonna hump it up now."
Yeah,
gross.
He says, "Time for some date rave."
Oh man.
So she follows her dead boyfriend in the dream, I guess, to the boiler room.
Yeah.
We finally get to see the boiler room in this movie. Satisfying.
Yeah, it's a good looking boiler room.
Yeah. And so she encounters Freddy Krueger, and he starts to taunt her in his way.
Yeah. I'm Freddy, boo-hoo.
Right, yeah. And she runs from him, and she hides in a locker, and he finally finds her, and he's going to kill her because he's finally got his act together. He has enough strength. He's finally going to have a victim. But no, Jason in real life shows up and skewers the ravist and PJ Souls down to the ground with a pole. Kills them both. And so in Dreamland, her guts explode, and he says, "No, she was mine!" And that sets up the fact that now Freddy has to find Jason and kill him.
God damn it, you cock blocker!
Yeah, right.
That was mine.
I think the fact that Jason got one of Freddy's kills is sort of a weak motivation for Freddy to try to fight Jason.
Yeah, and it's I think that's one of the conundrums of the movie, because there's really no reason that those two would be fighting each other.
Yeah. They
operate in different spheres. They have the same goals. They would just leave each other alone. You'd think actually Freddy would be like, "I like him," and Jason would be like, "He's okay." Like that would be the end of it.
Right.
But they've got to have a reason for Freddy to fight Jason, and so it's like, well, what does Freddy like that Jason could take away? And all you can really think of is killing the kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sure in early drafts they were like, well, maybe it's a contest, like I can kill more than you. And then one of them's like, God damn it, no, we're not doing that. It's stupid. And so this is the best they could come up with we got to have a reason for the heel and the hero to fight in the WWF match. And it's going to be, they don't have wives that they could be cheating with. Like, you fucked my wife, now we fight, like.
That's another thing. Are you, was there any small part of you that was rooting for one over the other?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I've always been a Freddy fan, so I wanted Freddy to win. Mm-hmm. But by the end of the movie, I don't know what word to describe him. He is a strangely ballet-like and fey murderer. Mm-hmm. And he's just really talkative and just kind of like, oh, I'll get in your face and ha-ha. Like he's very theatrical, I'll say.
Yeah.
And Jason's very brooding, as we've said. He's just a brute. And I've never liked the Jason movies. I've never really been a big fan of them. I kind of respect them for what they are. I have a nostalgia thing with them, but I never really enjoyed them. But about halfway through, I kind of just started liking Jason's style. I like the way he rolls a little more.
Yeah.
It's just no nonsense. Whereas, in the Freddy movies, everything's tied down with weird rules, which is like, well, Freddy has to get you in your dream and you have to stay awake. And there's this cat and mouse thing where it's going to happen. And it works really effectively in those movies. But the minute, whereas in Jason movies, it's just, he's coming, and there's nothing that can be done. He's coming. And when they mix those two styles together into a single movie, it suddenly makes some of the rules that Freddy has to abide by seem like severe limitations. Mm-hmm. And suddenly his theatricalness and all that starts to come off as like Freddy's some sort of really shitty middle management. And Jason's the actual one doing the fucking work. And so you kind of want him to win, Like Freddy's just kind of, the murderous banker that gets in the way between the farmer victim and the big bank, or something. I don't know why I just related them to capitalism, but
no, it works.
But that's what I'm getting. I started to like Jason a bit more.
I did too, but as you were talking, I think we'll totally get to why. So Jason goes on a fucking rampage. Finally, Jason
lights that shit up.
Jason gets a body count, and Fat Jock gets killed. Everyone hates Fat Jock, and all of his jock buddies get killed. And he's like, Jason's chopping people up and throwing spears at people and catching things on fire and blowing shit up. And I think he, kills a puppy and,
yeah. kicks an internet kitten that's really cute.
Right, puts a lawnmower on someone's face. So all of the main characters escape in the sweet ass van.
Sweet ass van.
They even call it the Scooby van later. This is a direct reference to Scooby Doo. Is this scene where they're all in the van together? There's Fred, there's Velma, there's Daphne, there's Shaggy, and the nerd is Scooby Doo.
Oh god, the nerd is Scooby.
Yeah.
The Shaggy I see quite clearly, for sure.
Sure. I mean, the Velma and Daphne are, well, Velma at least. Like, Laurie is not really Velma. But the rest of the characters kind of fall into place.
Zoinks! Like it's a killer, Scoob! Run for it! Ha! I can't do the Shaggy laugh.
So, I guess, like, they just drop people off? Like, the van pulls up to Destiny's Child's house, and she says, "Okay, talk to you guys later."
Yeah, thanks for a rough night. That was really shitty.
Yeah, you would think they would run directly to the police or get out of town or, stock up on guns or something.
Yeah.
But no, she's going to go get some sleep and talk to her parents or something. But this is all to get a scene of fucking Fred and Velma, Affleck and Laurie, or Will and Laurie are their real names in this movie.
Okay.
And, there's rain on the van windshield, and it's all, somber and, very emotional. And he tells Laurie about how he saw her dad kill her mom, and she says, no, it's not true.
That's the opposite of romantic.
Yeah.
The scene goes from, I want to know what love is, to like, I watched your dad kill your mom.
Right.
Like, oh.
So in yet another, like I kind of mentioned this in the Elm Street 2 thing. For some reason, like the logistics of how scenes play out is I'm really focusing on this lately, where her like they're in the van, her dad they're talking about heinous shit. Her dad shows up. There's an argument. Then she and her dad go into the house. She confronts her dad. Her dad says, "Go upstairs to your room." She sneaks out of the house and goes back to the van. It's just this like weird circular. There's no reason for these scenes to be changing, and
like I get the idea. The only reason that scene's there is so they can get the dad acting a little killer-like to bait you.
Right.
That's pretty much about it. But this movie does that a lot. I've noticed, and in fact, a lot of new horror movies I think are doing things like this. The way they cut from like location changes. Mm-hmm. What you'll get is somebody going, "We got to get out of here," and then it'll cut to the sweet ass van on the road, and then they'll be talking inside, and then it'll cut to a house, and you'll see them walking up to it, and you're like, "Oh, they arrived, I guess." Uh-huh. But it's weird. Modern movies, since they're always cutting down for time, will take out what they feel to be unnecessary scenes. In the 80s, a necessary scene is, well, we got to show the actors getting out of the car, and then we can show them going into the house, because that completes the what just happened and how they got here.
Right.
But now they're cutting things like that out. So you just see the van on the road, and then you see them going into a house, and you're like, I guess they got out of the van. I mean, yeah, my brain can put it together, but it feels clunky. Mm-hmm. It feels like they just cut some shit that was supposed to be there.
Right.
But yeah, so it's a lot of the travel scenes in this are just kind of sporadic, where you're like, they went there, I guess.
Right. Well, my thing is that in this like little section, Laurie starts at point A and goes in a complete circle back to point A.
Yeah, she goes into the house, upstairs, comes back out, goes back to the van.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. But yeah, they did need to be alone so he could like say, "I'm not a killer," wink wink. So we cut to Flea's house. Flea's doing his research on the internet.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you're right. He did get online.
Right. So yeah, all of that, my theory about internet shit goes out the window with that.
Yeah, I think he was using something called Super Search or something like that.
Yeah, he was gigablasting it. And of course, like he's like, gotta stay awake, gotta stay awake, gotta stay awake. And fucking Affleck and Laurie show up at his barred window just in time to see him burst into flames. In his dream, he sees his dead brother, which was, I mean, it's a perfectly creepy dream sequence, but I felt a little bored with the middle of this movie.
Yeah, it was parts of this got boring. I did feel pretty bad for Augie or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Because his particular kill where he gets killed is kind of brutal and really fucked up and sad. Mm-hmm. Like you find yourself going, "Oh man, well he didn't deserve that." Like, which is a weird thing to say when you know people are getting killed in a movie and no one deserves that. But he basically, Freddy wants Augie to give them a message of some kind, and he's like, "Fuck you, I won't do it." He goes, "Fine, whatever," and he tortures him to death and kills him, and then makes the message appear on his chest in blisters and burns and shit.
Yeah, and the message is just Freddy's back.
Yeah, like they didn't know that, just like, "Don't forget me, friends for life, BBW."
Oh, and there is a scene within the dream where his Augie's brother is. It's a flashback to when his brother killed himself, and he's got like slices in his wrists, but he's speaking with Freddy's voice, and Freddy refers to Jason as a hockey puck. I thought that was pretty funny.
Hockey puck.
Yeah, because
I think the stoner at one point refers to Jason as, "That fucking goalie is pissed." It's a stupid line, but I love the fact that he just, if you'd never seen this guy, heard him before, you'd be like, "What's up with that goalie?" Like,
well, there's something so Don Rickles about calling someone a hockey puck. What are you, a hockey puck?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So the new cop in town, Sheriff Busey, goes to his boss, and he says, "I think we might have a copycat of the Jason Voorhees murders." And the cops say, "No, we know who this is. We're not going to, it's Voldemort." We can't say his name, but we know who it is. That was a good Harry Potter reference, right?
Yeah. Evil Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted
to that's how I would end this movie. I would have them in hell, and then as they're walking forward, all of a sudden they hear this gentleman, and then they turn around and it's Voldemort. And then we get our Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, fucking Ash from whatever, Deadites and Harry Potter crossover.
Right. There was a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comic book.
I saw a few pictures of it on the internet. I wasn't sure if it was like an actual published thing or not. Is it?
Yeah. Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street have had this sort of weird relationship in their early incarnations. But
man, you want to talk about something weird? This is something I noticed, and I showed you a picture of it a little earlier. There seems to be a very strange. I don't know if this is a Japanese thing or what. It's in an anime style, but there are a shitload of pictures on the internet of Freddy versus Jason, but they're drawn as hot women in skimpy outfits instead of themselves.
Yeah.
And they're always fighting each other with big boobs and kind of pseudo making out. And if it was just one or two pictures some guy drew, I'd be like, creepy, weird, yeah. I don't know why you would draw Freddy Krueger as a hot chick, but whatever. You know, Halloween comes around, there's sexy nurses, sexy cats. Why can't there be a sexy Freddy?
Right.
You know, I guess that makes sense. But no, there's lots of different pictures and lots of different art styles of sexy female Freddy, sexy female Jason fight fucking.
Yeah.
It's very weird. The first time I saw one, I was like, what? And then when I saw just how many there were, I just went, the world is... I don't like this world. It's very confusing getting older. I don't like it. There's this, and then there's the Science Boys or whatever, where you've got Mark Ruffalo and Robert Downey Jr. making out and solving crimes.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Oh, I thank God that the internet did not exist when I was, whatever age I was when I was drawing weird fucked up shit. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's just a window into, like just strange developmental stuff.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't get the connection. Well, the whole sex and violence thing is a big part of our culture, but it's a part that I've never felt. Like I see it around, but I don't find like Freddy Krueger killing to be sexy, and I don't find sex to be violent.
Right.
It can be, I'm sure, but those two things occupy very different parts of my brain, and they're not close together. I think for some people they're a lot closer together.
Yeah, they weren't really close together for me either, but I mean, like a pubescent boy will draw tits on anything,
True. Yeah.
So,
I have done so.
Yeah. So, there's I liked horror movies when I was young, and I liked tits. So there you go. I never drew Freddy Krueger with tits. That seems really strange to me, but
yeah,
I can kind of put together how it would work.
I could see Freddy Krueger giving himself tits in a scene to fuck with somebody.
We'll actually get to that.
Yeah.
So there's all of the kids in the basement talking about how fucked they are. And then Busey shows up, Sheriff Busey. He says, "Yep, you guys are fucked because this is what's happening." He points out that Jason's there. We get Freddy Krueger's backstory again, and as they're talking, they start like, "Yeah, well, we should offer up a sacrifice," and like, "Yeah, man, yeah, we should give him a virgin," and they look at the nerd, and the nerd says, "Don't look at me, dude." And everybody looks at Lori, and they say, "Whoa, we're going to have to fucking tie her up." And, I actually liked how this played out of it, morphing from reality into an obvious dream,
Yeah, it gets a little weird. And the nerd, if I remember right, doesn't he say, "Paying for it still counts"?
Yeah.
Didn't he? Is that what he said? So you get the idea that, oh, well, the nerd's been fucking pros. Wow, that was unexpected, but okay. I like where they went with that. That's a neat way to spin that trope on its head.
And there's even a bit where her dad shows up and sticks his tongue in her mouth.
Oh, that was. I was watching this with Mary when that scene happened. Mary went, "God!"
Yeah.
And, like, turned her head.
Yep.
Because, like, I don't know, the incest thing. It's funny because we're watching people being gutted like pigs, but that bothers me less than an actor kissing another actress, and their roles are father and daughter, and it's not even him. It's a dream. Him being possessed by a demon. It's not even him.
Right.
But that bothers me more than watching someone get skewered alive.
Yeah, it was a thankfully short scene, and
For sure.
And yet again, you cannot have a Freddy movie without a tongue in it.
He's very oral. Freddy is so fucking oral.
He's super oral, and then he shows up and he starts like flicking his tongue at her and everything, and she says, "Ah, gross," and grabs his ear and rips it off as she's waking up. Then we get the we can bring Freddy into the real world thing. And
it's, like we said before, the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the hat gets pulled out, which I think was pretty iconic. In the remake, it was a little piece of his sleeve, which I didn't really like as much. It felt kind of piddling. And then in this one, it's his fucking ear, which is pretty brutal, but I still think the hat was the best of all of the things that you pull out from a dream to show that you can pull Freddy out.
Sure, yeah. Somehow they it's pointed out that at the psych ward they had this drug called Hypnosil, which is that represses your dreams, makes it so you can't remember your dreams anymore. So, there you go. That's a good way to fight Freddy. And
yeah, they put this plan together almost instantly.
Yeah,
like she pulls the dream out. They go, "Hey, there's this drug," and she goes, "Well, I've got to go pull him out, and we'll do it at Camp Crystal Lake." Like, it's very fast how this all gets put together, which I guess I'm pretty thankful for, because we already know all of this. We already know you can pull Freddy out. So I'm kind of happy they did that. But if you went into this movie not knowing anything about the Freddy or Jason movies, at this point you'd be like, this is just weird.
Well, I'm just amazed how easily they come up with like all of the backstory for all of this. Like, oh yeah, obviously everybody in town was repressing the story of Freddy Krueger in order to make it so he was powerless and not be able to kill people in their dreams anymore.
Yeah, that's the only answer.
Yeah, this is from two psychopaths looking at some microfiche.
Yeah, it's like at least Nightmare 2 had like Nancy's diary to explain things to them.
Yeah.
This doesn't have any of that. It's just like, well, we did some research, and here's all this shit about Freddy.
They have they look up Hypnosil on the internet. Bam, Hypnosil, there it is. And they decide to go to the psych ward to get a bunch of it. Break into the psych ward because Sheriff Busey's with them, and apparently it's easy.
It's easy to break an enter when you have a cop with you.
Yeah, I guess so. And they're looking around, and they're in some sort of like fucking Jason Mewes, whatever his name is hanging out with the nerd in a computer room from the 50s.
It looks like a control tower for like an airport, doesn't it?
Yeah, it totally does.
Like, you're kind of looking around like, what are they doing up there?
Yeah, I'm sure there is probably a lot of computing power that a psych ward needs.
Yeah, not like 1950s equipment that obviously has tubes and shit in it. Like, I'm pretty sure they just have like Excel and some other devices and a phone.
But they're hanging out, and the fucking stoner says, "Hey, let's get stoned." Nerd says no, because I'm a nerd and I don't do that. And stoner says, "Fuck you, dude. I'm gonna go away from the group, because that's what you do in a horror movie, and smoke a doob."
And what kind of person in this situation would just light the fuck up? I mean, you're in mortal danger. You're scared. I mean, sure, like getting high is great, and maybe it dulls that fear. But I just can't picture myself wanting any substance at all whatsoever when Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees are on my ass.
Yeah, no,
unless it was like raw adrenaline that they were giving me or something,
Yeah, it could be a small child coming at me with a machete, and I would still want to be as alert as I possibly could be. It's comedy relief. He does his best to make us laugh. Doesn't work, but there you go. Mm-hmm. And since he's stoned, you get to see the caterpillar.
Freddy, the thing I love about Freddy Krueger is his nice, creative, ironic, and rather poetic ways of killing people in their preferred lifestyle way. And this guy likes getting stoned. So Freddy shows up as this fucked up little gross caterpillar thing, which we immediately recognize as the the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. Who are you? You know, that kind of thing. But with this fucked up, horrible, grotesque Chucky face.
Yeah. And it's sort of got the red and green color, like stripes on it, and it blows smoke in his face, and he says, "Wicked."
No, I don't know how stoned I would have to be in that particular situation to accept what I'm seeing as this evil demonic caterpillar starts trying to blow smoke in my face. I think I'd be like, well, that's obviously Freddy.
Right.
And I should not be in the room with him. I should immediately call for help.
Yeah, I have never partaken of any drug that allows me to see monsters.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, there are some that will make you think you yourself are a monster.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, and, I've seen hallucinations before and whatnot, but if I saw a creature coming at me, I would assume it was a real thing and want to get out of there. Oh, that's another thing, is the rest of the group goes and they find all of the coma patients. They've induced comas into all of these kids who apparently Hypnosil is not working for them or something. I don't know.
And I really thought something was going to happen here too.
Yeah.
Because, see, the whole thing is they're in a coma so that they can't empower Freddy to come back. Mm-hmm. But now that Freddy is back, they're fresh game and they're stuck in a dream. So the scene I had in my head that I was thinking was going to happen, but that doesn't, is, the people are walking through and they're like, what's up with all these people in the Matrix or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
They're all laid down with tubes and they're all in a coma. They're all out cold. And I totally thought we were just going to see bodies being ripped open left to right. Like suddenly, basically, Freddy's making his way through the coma ward at light speed, just tearing people apart.
Right.
Getting his. That would have been a cool scene, but instead nothing happens with that.
Well, they purposely induced comas into these patients with Hypnosil in order for Freddy not to get them.
Right.
And I don't know what the fuck. It doesn't even matter. The whole point is just to show that a room full of people in comas is kind of scary.
Yeah, well, and because of how they're dressed, I kind of thought maybe that was a tie-in to the little girl with her eyes missing at some point. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't know. Well, I was still hoping for that one.
Yeah, I mean, in Jason Mewes' fucking hallucination, he goes into that room and all of them are sitting up and they're talking to him and they've got gauze bandages over their eyes. And,
exactly.
And there is one guy who the gauze is completely soaked in blood. So it is sort of like there is a eye gouging motif in this movie, but it doesn't really play out in any concrete way.
Yeah, it seems like it's being set up to go somewhere, but it does. Because in my head, when I see that scene, I'm still thinking of the little girl going, "Da-da-da-da, we'll help you. He's coming. We can help you."
Right.
And so I'm thinking, oh, so this is what's going to happen. In the dream, because they're in comas, maybe all that Hypnosil made it to where they can't be hurt or something. I don't know. Like, I'm looking for a plot twist, like what's going to happen with all this that they've set up. But then, I don't know, it's kind of like they served a big meal and then took it away.
Right, yeah.
Like, get to eat it,
A lot of my ideas about which movies this movie is referencing are a pretty big stretch.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's what I was looking at while I was watching this movie this time. And
were you seeing like Coma or?
I was thinking it was a reference to Coma. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Jason Mewes sees a bunch of coma patients. They all sit up. They tell him, they're like whispering to him and everything. And we get the idea that Freddy is getting him to pour all of the Hypnosil drug down the drain. Mm-hmm. The caterpillar shows up again, shoves itself down his throat.
Yeah.
And goes to town on getting rid of the drug.
Yeah, possesses him and makes him start dumping out all the drugs.
Right. At this point, Jason shows up and just whirlwinds through the place, destroying everything in his path.
Yeah.
He's the fucking juggernaut. And
he really is.
Yeah, he goes through doors, doesn't even open them, just walks through them and kicks.
What the fuck is this thing? I don't care.
Kicks buildings down and ends up killing Sheriff Busey. Electrocutes him.
Yeah, he electrocutes. Busey, which is kind of a silly death, really.
Yeah.
And then we get this nice moment where, at first you think Freddy is throwing all these drugs away so he can get all the kids, and he kind of is. He makes Shaggy Stoner get these 2 big syringes of Hypnosil, and then go out into the hallway.
Oh, the drug that he puts in the syringes is like a Mobiline or something like that.
Okay, yeah, Mobiline. It's some sort of knock your ass out drug. It's super powerful. And then he goes out in the hallway, and then Jason shows up, and everybody's freaking out like, Jason! And then the stoner guy's standing in the middle of the hallway, and they're like, come on, Muse, we got to get the fuck out of here, come on. And he's like, I got this. And they're like, come on! And he's like, get out of here, I got this. And like, I kind of liked that scene, the way he's just kind of staring at Jason like, don't worry about this, I got this, you know? It was kind of a weird, it's a strange dynamic, but I liked it. Yeah. It was unexpected.
I don't remember what his exact words were, but to paraphrase, he says something like, I've got this, bitch.
Yeah, it was something like watch and learn, bitch, or something like that. And you kind of hear Freddy's voice a little, but...
The reason I made sure to bring that up is because I wanted to point out how many times Freddy says bitch in the span of 10 minutes.
He does it a lot in this movie, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't do it in the beginning of the movie. It's just at the end, he says that's all he says, really.
Yeah, it's like the executive producer was like, hey, I was thinking of how we can get a little more people to watch this movie. We'll make it a little more modern. What kinds of stuff are the kids saying these days? Oh, I heard they call men bitches.
Yeah, right.
Then they put it in there. They say that, and then there's this YOLO thing. Well, we're not putting that in. That sounds like some Asian country. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Well, throughout the Freddy Krueger movies, that is kind of a line that keeps coming back. It's it's usually used like once in one of those movies.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to prime time, bitch. That sort of thing. That's the famous one. Yeah. But I don't object to the use of the word bitch. I object to the use of it so much that it makes the character seem unintelligent.
yeah, when it just makes Freddy seem doofusy rather than like spiteful.
Yeah, he's got to come up with a better insult. So yeah, Jason Mewes shoves the syringes into Jason Voorhees and pumps him full of knockout drug.
Immobile scene or whatever.
Yeah, right. And Jason Voorhees cuts the stoner in half.
Yeah, just rips him in half. It's pretty brutal. It looks good.
Yeah, it was a good effect. I was pretty. I mean, I know this is 2003, and it's a lot of these effects have been. They're kind of set in stone. It's kind of easy for a lot of effects people to know how to do this shit. But still, I mean, it takes a talented director to make it look good.
Well, there are a lot of modern movies that have come out even in the last 2 years where they'll have like blood spatters that are CG rather than a practical effect.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks fake and you can spot it and you're like, that looked fucking stupid. Why? Oh, my God, why did they do that? That looks so bad. And then you see this movie where a guy's obviously being ripped in half and everything, and it's CG, but it actually looks good.
Yeah.
So it kind of lets you know just how how far the ball is rolled away after it's been dropped.
Yeah, I mean, the blood spatter effects in this movie compared to The Last Stand are, miles apart.
Yeah, and that's a newer movie. It's kind of with probably a bigger budget.
Yeah, and the reason I pointed out that it's not the Hypnosil that he puts into Jason is because we now get Jason's dream and Freddy versus Jason for the first round.
That's right. If it was Hypnosil, he wouldn't dream.
Right. So we get, it's Dreamtown. Freddy's in charge of Dreamtown.
And we're waiting for this. This is the Freddy versus Jason moment.
Right.
And in my head, it's been hyped up, not only because it's something we talked about since junior fucking high. It's the title bout. The other reason it's hyped up is because of, the weird rules that these franchises operate under. Freddy comes to you in your dreams, and when you're in the dream, you're pretty much powerless. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to you. That whole everyone has a dream power thing removed from 3 and 4. But in this one, Freddy, once you're in a dream, you're pretty much his. You either wake up or he's going to eventually kill you. But the thing is, Jason Voorhees' particular special power is the fact that he can't die. you end up with this weird situation where you're like, well, wait a minute. So Freddy's going to fucking own Jason, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason can't die. So this fight will never fucking end until Jason wakes up. Like, there's just... Because Freddy can't die in his dream either. So you have two immortal warriors fighting each other, and neither can die. This is just something that could go on forever. And so when I went into this scene, I was just like, so how exactly is this going to play out? I'm assuming Jason's just going to wake up after a while.
It plays out in like the only way it really can, but it ends in a really satisfying way as far as I'm concerned. It
was a really good fight. Yeah. It starts off and it's very physical, you know, like basically Jason kind of has the upper hand at first. He's just kind of hacking and slashing, and Freddy doesn't seem like he can really fight him physically very well. It's kind of a Yoda and Darth Dooku, whatever the fuck his name was thing. And then they also do a thing with the editing where, like, you know, the scene is very red. Or it's green first, isn't it?
No, it goes from red to green. When Freddy starts using his, like, dream powers on him and everything, like this entire movie has certain callbacks to specific Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yeah.
And, you know, Friday the 13th, too. But for better or worse, there are some movies where Freddy is just flat out a cartoon character.
Yeah.
And this is the scene where it's actually a good version of that cartoonishness, you know, because there's like the pinball thing.
Yeah.
You know? He throws Jason around like he's a pinball.
It even makes pinball noises.
Right.
It's very Looney Tunes. And he's just acted it up, having a gay old time just being Freddy. And then Jason kind of whoops on his ass for a while. The screen turns green. And then we finally, you know, get a moment where amidst all this fighting, which it kind of has a Jet Li thing going for it too, because they are flying at each other, and it's a little bit of wire work.
Right.
But I like it. You know, it actually fit kind of. It didn't go too kung fu-ish on it, you know, because Freddy doing kung fu would be pretty fucking stupid. But Freddy swinging around like Wolverine makes a little more sense. You know, then we finally get another rule, which is one that I had forgotten. But yeah, Jason's got a thing about water.
Yeah.
He's terrified of water because he drowned when he was or kind of drowned when he was a kid.
Yeah, it's not exactly a rule. Like Friday the 13th doesn't pay attention to rules very much.
Because didn't Jason go to Manhattan underwater?
Yeah.
But yeah, so in this movie they bring up that whole like he doesn't like water thing. And he's terrified of water, and Freddy notices this and goes, oh, he doesn't like water. Right. And then immediately surrounds him in a waterfall 360 degrees around him where he can't get out. Yeah. And this is kind of an interesting scene because they didn't have to go this way at all. They could have just kept him the brute. I love this. Freddy starts fucking with him and getting into his head, which is what Freddy does best, really.
Right.
Because there's no fucking with people's heads that Jason does.
Well, that's another power of Freddy Krueger is that he finds what you're afraid of and he makes you afraid. Like he
exploits it.
Yeah, he feeds on the fear and he plays with his meal sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So he starts doing that to Jason. And you're like, well, this is kind of interesting. And then they do this wonderful thing where we get a few cuts from outside the dream too, but we go back to the dream and we see this rather wonderful scene. It's probably my favorite scene in the movie, where Freddy is kind of slightly in the waterfall. He's leaned in and he's going, oh, what's wrong, Jason? You know, do you not feel good? Are you scared? And Jason has been reduced to a child. He's his childhood self that drowned with his kind of mentally challenged looking face. I don't know what that's all about. No mask or anything like that. And he's just like huddled up and shaking. Reminded me of a scene out of The Cell or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's a really nice scene. He has completely reduced Jason to this quivering child that was injured so long ago. And it really kind of nails the whole Jason mythos down really well.
Right.
And does show that whole, well, Jason technically, if you think about it, is like this wounded, vulnerable little child.
Right. And the part of that I really liked is that he's still wearing the hockey mask at first.
At first, yeah.
They show him all curled up in the fetal position. He's shaking, and it's like, you know, it's a young boy like laying there, but he's still wearing that creepy hockey mask.
It's his final protection. Yeah, his last piece of defense.
And Freddy pulls the mask off and says, "Now there's a face only a mother can love." You know, it's not great writing, but it is perfect characterization for that guy.
It's about as poignant as a movie like this could probably get.
Right, yeah.
And it also cracks me up because he goes, "That's a face only a mother could love." And I'm thinking, look who's fucking talking. Like, you're like the worst burn victim I've ever seen, you know? And then when you're not a burn victim, you look like Robert Englund. Like, what the fuck? You know, what? Sorry, buddy, but you drew the wrong straw.
And this is the beginning of why you kind of start rooting for Jason more. Because Freddy is fucking cruel. And Jason, they even say it in the movie, you're like a big dumb dog that doesn't know when to stop eating.
Yeah, it's Jason in this, when he gets reduced to a child especially, it really reminded me of that scene in Thunderdome, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, where you see Blaster with his helmet off finally.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Yeah. You know, he's not just a big, horrible monster. This guy's being used. And he's tortured and troubled, and he's fallen into this horrible way. And then you see the cruelty of, like, Auntie's men, where they're like, we've only just begun. And they kill him.
Right.
And that's when you start rooting for not them anymore. Like, you don't really, now you want them to die. And that's how I feel about Freddy in this. Like, the minute that happens and he you know, basically reduces Jason to a quivering bundle of scared little boy nerves. When that happens, you're just kind of like, oh man, I kind of feel bad for Jason. Like, he kills because he doesn't know any better, whereas Freddy's just like an evil piece of shit. Kind of different, you know, different takes, still monsters, but in my book, you kind of feel bad for Jason in a way. You don't ever feel bad for Freddy.
Right. The kids have all taken Jason's body and put it in the van, and they're driving to Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
They give a reason why, but it's not very convincing.
All they really say is so Jason will have home field advantage.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know either. Then when they're almost there, there's like they're running out of the drug that's keeping him sedated, and when they're almost there, Laurie takes some and falls asleep in order to bring Freddy out of the dream.
Yeah.
It's a
she lays down right next to Jason, and I'm thinking, no, get in a different car or something.
Yeah.
Like, don't do it right next to him.
It's a dumb idea, but it's kind of a neat scene because she's like curled. It's like she's kind of like sweetly curled up next to fucking Jason.
Jason Voorhees. Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, that's an interesting.
All around, this is a bad plan. This is a bad, dumb plan. There's a flashback to all of the people at Camp Crystal Lake. All of the kids are making fun of Jason, and they end up throwing him in the lake. And all of the counselors don't notice because they're too busy indulging in their vices and fucking on the out in public. Giving I think Friday the 13th, like 2 or 3, builds this backstory, but I had totally forgotten about what the motivation is behind Jason killing people that drink.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's like something his mother told him and she's like an old temperance hag. I don't know, but he doesn't like anybody that fucks or drinks or does anything that's irresponsible.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he blames the counselors for, being over there doing their thing and, living it up while he's, busy getting thrown in the river.
Right, yeah.
So he's just gonna fucking massacre everybody. Bam. There you go. In the dream, Laurie is there. She's, and Freddy makes an appearance. They do a really good job of making Freddy like just the cruelest. As the kids throw kid Jason in the water, real life Jason is in the van and he starts drowning. Coughing up water. And so Destiny's Child has to do mouth-to-mouth on Jason.
Yes. It's such a weird fucking moment, too.
Yeah. It's sort of illogical in this movie because I guess they need Jason alive in order to kill Freddy. Mm-hmm. But...
Well, and also you don't do mouth-to-mouth on somebody with their lungs full of water that are spitting up water. You compress the chest to try and get the water up, and then you do mouth-to-mouth so they can breathe.
Yeah.
But you don't do it while there's water in their mouth gurgling around.
You also don't do mouth-to-mouth on an immortal zombie.
That's true. An undead immortal zombie who can't die.
Right. So, of course, like, Jason immediately wakes up and the van crashes. Everybody goes running. I forget what happens next. I think they drag Laurie, who is still knocked out, to a cabin.
Yeah,
right?
they're really close to Camp Crystal Lake. They see the sign, so
Right.
they walk to the camp, and now Jason's going to have his home field advantage, but he's wandered off somewhere.
Right.
He's out fishing or something.
Yeah, and within the dream, Jason disappears when he wakes up. So Freddy freaks out. He gets all mad, and there's a super cool scene where he goes flying up out of the water and lands on the dock.
And what's funny is there's a scene in this too. It's a callback to an earlier Friday the 13th movie where when Jason's still drowning as a boy and he's going help, help, and all of a sudden Freddy jumps up and grabs his head in slow motion and pushes him back under the water.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally something that Jason did in, I believe, the second movie, or maybe it was the end of the first movie, wasn't it? The climactic end of Friday the 13th?
Yeah, sure. It's after the mother gets killed and everything, and she's out on the lake, and she thinks everything's great, and then, Jason comes up and grabs last girl and...
Yeah, like in slow motion. Yeah. It's like that exact scene, but now it's Freddy grabbing.
Okay, yeah, I didn't make that connection, but yeah, you're right.
I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah. Then there's like a, Freddy versus Laurie. He says, "You're in my world now, bitch," or something like that. He says, "Bitch again, bitch this, bitch that." And by this time, Jason finds the cabin and attacks all the kids. So Laurie's battling Freddy in the dream. All the rest of the kids are battling Jason in real life. And
which I kind of like because it allows you to cut back and forth between different battles.
Sure. And Jason is fucking shit up. He
is.
He is just tearing through that cabin like nobody's business. He is like a one-man wood chipper.
They do a really good job in this movie, I have to say, of capturing just that unstoppableness of this character. He's pretty daunting, I think he's even more hardcore than in previous movies.
Yeah. I mean, there are specific scenes where, like, in other Friday the 13th, where you say, "Oh, damn, that guy's hardcore." But like throughout this entire movie, it's really clear that that the director knew how Jason operated. There's
none of that slow appearing in the woods and then walking towards you at an even pace like in a lot of other movies. No, he's just like, time to kill.
Yeah. Dude's a fucking wrecking ball, man.
Yeah.
And so Laurie finally wakes up and brings Freddy out into the real world. There we get this like shocked Freddy Krueger, like, "Oh shit, what happened?"
Not this again.
And then it's just clusterfuck time. All the kids run. By this time, the nerd has been skewered. He's still alive, but he's got like a gaping wound in his back. And he and Destiny's Child go running, and Will and Laurie go running, and Freddy and Jason finally like battle in real life.
Yeah, like we've had the dream battle where Freddy obviously has the advantage.
Right. And
now we're going to get the real life battle where I think Jason definitely has the advantage because he's immortal in real life and Freddy is not.
Yeah, right. We get there's like a construction site for some reason.
Like where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're finally tearing down Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah. Camp Crystal Lake and Quarry.
Yeah, right. And Freddy gets the best of him in a couple of places, and like because he's the squirrely, it's exactly like you and me, Robin. It's Elijah versus Robin in this scene.
Freddy's a campus-bound, college-going guy with a wife and kids, and
he loves gummy bears, and I am a fucking locomotive that will tear everything apart in my path.
So now I got to figure out how I'm going to reduce you to that of a quivering boy, like in order to fulfill this metaphor.
Let me tell you, man, it's not really that hard. We finally, you finally get to see that the director is a kung fu director because Freddy does some like serious like pro wrestling moves on him and starts
few high kicks
a
and
few
stuff.
high kicks, and yeah. And in the meantime, the nerd and Destiny's Child, he says, we got to stop. And he sits down by the tree and he says, I can't make it anymore. You've got to go find help. And she says, I'm not going to leave you. And he says, you got to do it. And he convinces her. And she says, okay, but I'll be right back, and leaves. And I really liked this death. This is my favorite death of the movie, I think, because it's not a violent death. It's not like, he doesn't his head doesn't explode or anything. No. It's just it slowly pans past him as his eyes just kind of die, and it pans down to like blood streaming out of his wound.
Yeah, like he was worse off than he let on.
Yeah. And, it cuts back and forth to fights and everything, and all the different characters are panicking, running, trying to make plans, and Freddy sticks Jason to the ground, I guess. Yeah,
he dumps a bunch of rebar down onto it. That Chinese rebar. And it flies through Jason's body and pins him in this kind of, arched at the heavens sort of pose.
Mm-hmm. And so he's going to go after Laurie and Will, and then Destiny's Child shows up and says, I'm going to distract you. And then he says, oh, I'm gonna gut you like a fish, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
And notably, she calls him a faggot, which, I know this movie's over 10 years old, but even then it was a little bit, it was a tough call whether you should use a term like that.
When she first says it, you're just kind of like, oh dear.
Yeah.
And then a part of you thinks, well, I agree, but that's not the right word. I know what you're trying to say. I don't think you're actually saying, Freddy Krueger, you're a homophobic slur.
Right.
I don't think she's trying to insult his sexuality. I think she's using the term in that 80s sense of, what kids would pick on each other with. And
sure. For the most part, I don't have a problem with any language that people are going to use in their movies. It does seem a little out of place in this thing, but the only reason I bring it up is because the screenwriters have said that wasn't in the script that we wrote.
Oh, okay. Like she improvised it?
So yeah, either that or somebody along the way said, call him a faggot.
It does perfectly match what kids in my junior high, way back when Freddy was actually valid.
Sure, yeah.
It does match what they would have said to Freddy, if Freddy were coming after them. I mean, I remember one kid, I was playing Metroid, and we saw Mother Brain, and he kept calling her Mother Bitch, Mother Bitch, Mother Bitch. I'm just like, why? Why are you even saying that? That same kid is the kind of guy who'd be playing, fucking Duck Hunt, and he'd be like, boom, I got that faggot, and it's like, I guess you did.
Right. Yeah.
I can't wait for times to change. I don't like it when you call ducks that, because I know I've heard you call me that as well, and I don't like
you. So she starts taunting him, and this is the only part in the movie where I can't stand the character.
Okay.
It seems kind of poorly acted. She describes his claws as butter knives and all of that, and it's like, okay, I guess
she's trying to distract him, but it's really dumb,
right? And he points behind her, and she turns around. Jason's there and cuts her up.
Yep.
Bam.
Bye, Destiny's Child.
She's dead. Moving on, and and then it's just knock down, drag out shit for quite a long time.
And we also get this hokey fight mechanic of the swinging fucking cauldron thing. What the fuck is that even?
Oh, right. Yeah.
They introduce that, and it's just like, Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom fighting on things that roll in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. It's like they introduced this thing, and they're like, now the fight will take place with this wild card thing constantly happening. And that thing does not abide the laws of physics whatsoever. It just kind of swings back and forth, hitting walls indefinitely. And it's like, is somebody operating the crane to make that move, or it's just that fucking bouncy? It goes on for 5 minutes, this fucking...
It's made out of rubber.
Something, yeah.
So Freddy and Jason are, rolling around on the dock and, cutting each other up and everything. Jason rips off Freddy's arm.
I liked that.
Yeah. Freddy starts cutting Jason up with his own machete. Then and by this time, Laurie is spraying the doc down with gasoline. Again, no reason to have a gas pump there. I don't know what that's for. I mean, I guess boats might need it, but it's like a little tiny dock with like one motorboat attached to it.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like the kind of place that would need a petroleum dispensary.
Yeah, but she's spraying down the dock with it, and by this time, both of the main bad guys are all chopped to bits, and she comes running out of the fiery house within her hero moment, and she says, "Hey, Freddy, go to hell!" And throws the torch and lights the dock on fire. Wasn't too impressed with the "go to hell" line, but
No.
I'm sure if I were in that situation, I wouldn't be able to come up with a good one-liner either.
Yeah, it's no yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and it's definitely not Schwarzeneggerian.
Right.
But, I mean, it serves, I guess. I think if I were in that situation and I was about to light it up, I don't think I would say shit to distract him. I think he'd be like, okay, I got the gas on the ground, get this fucking... I better back away before I do this. Right. Like, I could see myself lighting it and the fire goes, and I'm like, ooh, okay, I hope he doesn't notice because I want him to catch on fire first. Like, I'm going to run away.
Everything explodes. Big old explosion.
Michael Bay.
Yeah. And at some point in the movie, Laurie says something about how Freddy died by fire and Jason died by water. We need to be able to use that somehow.
It's just some yin and yang shit.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of silly. So after the explosion, Will and Laurie are laying on the dock, and one last time we get, thump, 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 boots coming at them. Pan up, we see the machete. We don't know who it is, and it turns out to be Freddy Machete.
Freddy Machete.
And he's gonna kill the kids, but no. Jason uses Freddy's severed hand with its claw on it to shove through Freddy's body and falls into the water, and then Freddy falls in the water dead.
I love that Freddy gets killed with his own claw.
It's kind of a nice little poetic moment that each of the bad guys get killed with its own signature weapon type thing.
See, Freddy's a water-type Pokemon, and that's why fire hurts him. And Jason's a fire-type Pokemon, and that's why he's most effectively defeated with water attacks.
Right. Oh, right. The very last thing after Freddy gets his, the chest burster shows up, he's like standing there. He's like in shock with his own hand sticking through his chest. And Laurie grabs the machete and says, "Welcome to my world, bitch," and cuts his head off. That line has shown up in a couple of these movies now, and it's terrible. It's not a good line. It's like that's not the line that you end a movie on.
No, Freddy's the one that usually says that line, isn't he?
Yeah. Although in the remake, fucking girl with the dragon tattoo says it, and
you're terminated, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. And then Will and Laurie just totally fuck on the dock. They strip down. It turns into a XXX hardcore porno.
Some Parliament Funkadelic starts playing.
Last thing is Jason walking up out of the lake holding his machete and Freddy's head, and Freddy's head winks at the camera. The end.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which that whole scene was a complete reshoot, and they didn't know how to end this movie for the longest time.
I've heard that there was an alternate ending that they had in mind at first, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there were a couple, I think, but I mean, this movie has been going around for 15 years. They have actually been trying to make this movie. Ever since Freddy, or ever since Jason Goes to Hell, and there's that last there's that last scene where
with a glove.
Yeah, there's the hockey mask, and then Freddy's glove comes up and drags it into hell or whatever.